Hello everyone, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to this session. And in today's session we are going to discuss some of the mathematical functions that are applied in Excel. We know that the function can be used to perform simple or complex calculation depending on what you want to calculate. So with me here, maybe I can use the same file that I had yesterday that we have saved. And remember, in this we discussed the if code, the nested if, and also the if statement. And here we gave some of the condition. Maybe today we are going to do some of the mathematical functions. So I had another sheet here, and then I right click it, and maybe I can rename this and call it math. So today we are just going to measure ourselves on some of the maths that we can apply in this Excel. And this is to remind, for those who have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like and share, so that we can reach more people in this. So here maybe I can have some numbers, like maybe for example, like I can have here maybe a number like maybe 10. Maybe I can have 20. Maybe I can have a number like maybe I can have 30. I can have 30 here, and maybe I can have a number like 40. I can have a number like maybe 40. I can have a number maybe like 30. I can have a number like 50. I can have a number like 30. Sorry, 30. I can have a number like 50. I can also have a number like 30, and also I can have a number like maybe 60, and also I can have a number like maybe we have a number like maybe 70, maybe 80, and maybe we can have the last one, which is maybe 90, like that. So in this, that's the one that we have. Those is the number that we have in this. So those are the few numbers that we have. So here I can have the first maybe mathematics function that we can have this, and maybe for this we can decide to get the average of that data that we have there. We know this is the function that provides the mean value, maybe for a specified, or using the one that you have specified in a given range. And then remember, for us to use the average function, the key thing is, for us, any function will start with the equal sign. So we have equal sign, and then here we can have the average. We have the average there, and then we open it with a parenthesis, and then the next thing is for us now to get the range of the data that we need to get the average for. So we can select from there downwards up to there, and then we can just close it with the bracket, and then we can click enter. So, and this becomes the average of our result. So the average result here is maybe 45.83333, 48.3333. And remember, in these we can use also the maths function and maybe round off this to the nearest the way we want. Maybe if we want it to be in twos, in one decimal place, we can say maybe for example here, remember you can decide to use many functions to round off. Maybe if we want it to go to the highest value, we can have maybe equals, and then here we can have the floor if we want it to go to round it. So we can have the floor, maybe the floor, that function, and then here we can have maybe the parenthesis, like that, and then we can select the range is that, and then we can separate it with a comma. And then here you can see we are told to state the number and then the significant. So here, if we want one significant, we can just have the one significant like that, and then we can close that, and I can click enter. We have not closed, so you can put the significant to be 1. So here sorry, the significant was A13, the number was A13, that is the range. And then here we had the flow, we wanted to put it to be 1 like that, then enter. And here you can see we have rounded off it to 41. If we want to round off it to 2 significant, maybe we can have the same function. We can start with the equal sign. We can just start with the equal sign like that, and then here you can have the flow, and then here you can have the parentheses, and then you can select the range, and then here maybe we can select this one. We can have the comma there, and then we can put the significance maybe to be 2 like that, and then we can close with the parentheses and then press enter. And here you can see now we have gone down to 44. And then maybe, for example, if we wanted to have in the multiple or to the nearest multiple of 5, maybe for example to the nearest multiple of 5, we can have the same, maybe we can have the same, and then have the same equals, and then here we can have the flow, maybe the flow like that, and then here and put the parentheses, and then here we can select the range, then we can separate it with a comma like this, and then here we can put the 5. So this one is supposed to go to the multiple of 5. It can go either to 50 or maybe to 40 if it is less than that, and then we can click enter. So this one you can see it goes to 45. It goes to 45 because it is in the multiple of 5. If you wanted to go to the multiple of 10, we can just have equals, and then here we have the flow that way, and then here we can have the significant here like that, and then we can select the range and then separate it with a comma, and then we can press the 10 there like that, and then we can click enter, and there we have the 40. So remember also we can move upward. We can move upward by another function, which is the maybe equals. We can start with the equals, and then here instead of the flow now we can have the searing. We can have the searing like that, the searing, you don't know, the searing, and then you can have the function, and then we can select the range is that still, and then here we can separate here, and we want to go up maybe by 1 or maybe by 5, and then we can close like that, and here you can see this one rounded off to 5 is 10. It is 10. Remember also there is also another special, which is the hem round. You can also use another function, which is the hem round. Maybe we have that, then m round, I don't know if it is the one. Let's put in caps m, then we can have the round there, the round, round like that, then we can have this, and then here we can select the range, and then maybe we can try to separate it with a comma. I don't know if it is a pride here, and then we can have 5, and then you can have that, then yeah, good. That's all you can see. This one can be able to round, so it is also another function that you can use maybe to round. So that is a average value where you can operate different numbers depending on this. So remember also we can get the sum of all these. We can also get the sum of all these, and also remember you can put it anywhere. Maybe for example you can write it here, and here you need to start with the sum, and then the sum, remember you are going to write the maximum of all this, so we can have it here, and then we can start maybe with the equals, and then here we add the sum like that, and then we can put the parentheses like that, and then we can select the range that we want to get the sum. We want to get the sum from here up to there, and then we can close our parentheses like that, and then we can click enter, and that is the sum of all that totaled. So you can see how powerful is this, which we can use. And remember also, you can be able to calculate the number of these items that are there. So we can just put the count, and then we can say equals, and then here, maybe here we have the count, function, and then under this count function we can specify the range where we want to count from. We want to count the whole of this, and then we can close that parentheses, and then we can click enter, and there you can see there are 12 occurrences or observations here. That is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So you can be able to calculate, and remember, you can be able also to return the maximum value. And how do you get the maximum value here? You can get the maximum value here by having the max function, and then here we have the max function, and then we can put the parentheses like that, and then here you can give the range that we want to get from there all the way to that value, and then from there you can close our parentheses like that, and then you can click enter, and the maximum value in this set of data was 90. The maximum was 90. We can also get the minimum using the minimum function here. We can get the minimum, and to get the minimum we can give the equals, and then we can have mini. We can have the mini like that, and then here you can select the range so that you can get the minimum that was returned in that. And then remember always to close the brackets when you open them, and then we can click enter, and the minimum value along these data was 10. And then the next one, maybe we can return maybe the median of this number. Let us return the median of this number. So we need to have the median function here. We can have the equals, and then here we can have the median. Like that, and then we can have the opening brackets like that, and then we can select the range to which data we want to get the median. So we want to get from there all the way downwards, and then from there we can close these parentheses. And click enter, and the median of this value was 40. The median of that value was 40. So that is how you can return the median. Also, you can, as long as you can calculate the median, also you can consider calculating the mode, and also we can calculate the mode. Let us calculate the mode we see, and the mode we can just use the mode function, and here we can have equals, and then here we can have maybe something to do with the mode like that, and then here we can have that, and then we can select the range. Also we can come here and select the range that we want to get the mode at that. Remember, the mode is the most repeated value, so from there you can close that, and then you can click enter, and the mode was 30. That was the number that was maybe mostly maybe repeated. And also, I think as long as we can get all these statistics, we can also get the standard deviation. We can also get the standard deviation here, and we know for us to get the standard deviation we need just to have the function that is equals, and then we can have the standard deviation. Maybe we can have the S, maybe G, ST, maybe D, and maybe the other one for standard deviation is A, maybe V, that way. And then from here let us have that, and then we can put the numbers that we want to get the standard deviation for. So you can just come here and get the range is up to there, and then from there we can just maybe have that closed, and then we can click enter. and the standard deviation was that. You can see it is not much deviating from the mode, maybe if it, regardless of the kind of the skewness that was maybe present in it. So that is how maybe you can get some of the mathematics functions against it. And remember also, not necessarily you have the data written. Maybe for example you can also use the sum. Maybe for example when we don't have maybe to select the range, maybe we can say equals, and then here we can say maybe sum, and then we can pass like our arguments that we are passing here, maybe 4 maybe separated with a comma, and maybe 5. I think this one is supposed to return for us 9, and then you can click enter, and you can see now it can be able to add the two numbers. It can be able to add the two numbers. And remember also, maybe let us take this one which has a bit of some value returning. We can have like that, maybe sum. We have the sum, and then here we can have the bracket here, and then here we can have 3, and then here we can separate it with it like that. Let's see, maybe like that, and then here we can have maybe also a comma, and then here we can specify if it is true or false. True, if true, that way, and then we can close and see what's the value. Is it 6? Click enter, and here you can see it can be able to output maybe for us. That's how maybe you can have without maybe specifying the range. And remember, there are many ways that you can have. Maybe you can even get all that value. Remember also you can have the product. Maybe if you want to multiply 2, remember you can also say that 2 maybe multiply or asterisk 2, and then you can state equals. Sorry, here it's right for us because we have not included the function that way, the sign, and then here like that, and then we can click enter, and there you can see we have the value which is maybe a 6, which is maybe 6. There are many ways that you can multiply that, and also maybe let us try to use the product function. You can have that, and then here we can have the product function, and then you can have these, and then here you can have the numbers. You can have the numbers, maybe 4, and then maybe the other number that we can multiply, or maybe 4, then or let us just select the 2 range here. We can have that and that, and then we can try to close it like that, and there it can return the value for us. We know that if you multiply by 90, you get a 7200. Remember also you can be able to get the remainder. If you want to get the remainder of any number, maybe the remainder we can put it here. Maybe for example, if I want to have maybe 3 divided by 2 like that, and then I state that I'm getting 1.5. I know that is maybe 1, maybe it is 1 remainder that. So if I want to get that remainder, that is 2. How many times can 2 go to 3? It is only 1 remainder 1. So if I want that to have here, I can have it like this. That is I can have the function, maybe I can have the function here, and then here I can have maybe the mode, not the mode of the one that we have done, that, and then here I can have the function, that is 3, and then separated with a comma, maybe like that, and then here I have 2, and then here I can close this bracket like that, and then I can state equals, and here you can see it returns for me the value of 1. And remember, this one will always take the values, like maybe for example if I was dividing 3, and then here I add the mode, and here maybe for example I add maybe 3, I had 3 and maybe 3 here. I had 83, then I was dividing with negative 2 like that, and then here I pass this, and then I click that. I'm supposed to get it being negative 1. So remember, the remainder will always take the divisor's sign. And remember also, you can have the division. Maybe for example, that is the, if you want how many times can it divide that or that, you can have it being with the quotient function. And maybe for example, if I want maybe 5 divided by 2, I know this one is supposed to be, I think, 2. Remainder, that is, we are not taking the remainder, so it can be either 3. Then here I can have the quotient, maybe have the quotient, maybe the quotient, a quotient like that, it is already there. And then the quotient here I can have maybe the quotient of maybe 7, let me divide by 2. You know, this one is 3. How many times can 3 divide 7? As 3, is it 3 or 2 times that, and then I can click, it is 2 times remainder. So you find now here it goes 2 times. It just ignores the remainder, but it takes the whole parts that can be able to be divided by that. And then also, maybe for example, you can have as many as you wish. You can have maybe equals, and then we can also have maybe the quotient, maybe the quotient, quotient that we, and then we can pass the argument here. We can maybe have even 100 maybe 2, 100 maybe 2, 100 to 11, and then we can cross it, and then, you know, this is 9. Yeah, it can be 9 because of 99. And that's maybe bring us to the end of this session. I was your trainer, Maurice Morene. If you found this video of importance to you, please consider subscribing, like, and share. Remember, if you want to see all these formula that you have used, we can just double click to any of the cell here, and we can see what formula we had applied. So to all these, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share, so that we can increase this family of running IT skills. Thank you.